All right, welcome back. This is Milestone 4 for ABT 114, Introduction to AutoCAD for New England Institute of Technology. I am Nick, and we're going to get right into it. So as part of the handouts which you have seen on Canvas, you'll see there are 7 sheets there. However, I only have 5 for myself. That's because for you, I created duplicate sets of the floor plans so that you can have a set with and without the furnishings to help with your drawing. So we're going to have a bit of a checklist to do with this project and how we're going to go about doing this. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to combine our files. We're also going to create our paper space layouts as we went over in week 5. We're going to modify our drawings, and that's going to be the last of the main. But modifying our drawings will take the majority of the time. It is absolutely the best if we break it down into individual components, meaning we have doors, windows, casework, plumbing, furnishings, and annotations. If you break it down into these 6 individual components, this will be a breeze. This will be quick. So, this is phase 1. We're going to combine the files. So what I have is I have my foundation plan here, open. I have my first floor plan open and my second floor plan open. Essentially, milestones 2 and 3 I have open and ready to go. What I'm going to do and what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to delete this border on all of my drawings because I don't need it. From here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my milestone 3 and I'm going to select everything with a big window. I'm going to do a Control C, a copy command, and Control V, put it above, and I'm going to put it above and to the left, and you'll see why in a moment. I'm now going to go to my second floor plan. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it above and to the left again. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a line from this bottom corner with my orthographic drafting on, all the way up. Grab my milestone 3, do a move command to get them aligned. Do the same thing with this guy. Top. What this does is it puts all of 3 of these in a line, basically. These are aligned. If I was to pull a line from any of the 3 major points that are consistent in all these, we can see that it's aligned perfectly. Yep, and this can and will be useful. Well, wouldn't you know it, we just did our first step. We combine our files. So I'm just going to draw a line right through that. Now we have to create paper space layouts. Now we went over this in week 5, so I'm just going to go through this pretty quickly. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my Layout 1 tab. I'm going to click on this border here, and I'm going to delete it. That's our viewport. I'm going to see if I have a viewport layer created, which I do not. Perfectly fine. What I am going to do, however, is I'm going to enter my print dialog option. I'm going to right click on Layout 1, Page Setup Manager, click on Modify. I'm going to set my settings in here. Printer and plotter, this is Microsoft Print to PDF. My paper size for this print is going to be D size sheet. Want to plot layout, XY, keep this as is, keep this as is. Plot style, monochrome. I'm going to click OK. Close. And we can see this paper seemed to get bigger. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to open up another drawing file. I'm going to navigate to where my Arch D border is saved. It is currently on Canvas, so you'll need to download it. Here, Atwood Residence. Is it in Handouts? AutoCAD files. I have it here. I'll open it up, and I see something that looks like this. What I'll do is I'm going to take this into a copy command, another Control C, and then while in the paper space, I'm going to do Control V. I'm going to put it around the corner, and I'm going to click. I'll close my Arch D border drawing. I don't need to open anymore. Great. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double check, make sure this is all good. Where it says milestone, this is for milestone number 4. And everything else I'll leave as is for now, because I'll later. Next up, I need to add a viewport, but very first up, I need to create a new layer called viewport. I'm going to assign a dark color for this. I need to make sure and absolutely certain that no plot is turned on right here. And then that is all I need to do for that. I'll set it active, and then I'm going to click the menu. Now what I'll do, I'm going to go to the Layout tab, and I'm going to select Rectangular. I'm going to scroll up to be kind of in this top corner here. And I'm going to leave some space at the bottom. So I'll see something that looks like this. This is good. From right here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on Layout 2, and I'm going to click Delete. I'm going to right click on Layout 1 and go to Rename. I'm going to name this A1.0. Then I'm going to right click on this, Move or Copy. I'm going to select Move to End and create a copy. I'm going to rename this to A1.1. And then again, right click, Move or Copy, create a copy, move to end, OK. And make this last one name A1.2. Now, I'm just going to set myself up for the future. I'm on A1.2 currently. So I'm just going to rename this A1.2. This sheet name I can verify based on these drawings. Oof, I got that a little backwards. I start with A1.1. I'll modify that. Don't worry. So I want these to be A1.3, 2, and... Anyway, this is second floor plan. This will be perfect. I cannot type today. Second floor plan, rename to 1.3. We didn't start with that. You can also double click on the text down here to rename it. A2. Double click on this. A1.2. Sheet name for this. It's foundation, not foundation plan. Geez. First floor plan. And last but not least, A1.1. A1.1. And the sheet name will be foundation plan. From here, what I will do is I may as well set these sheets up. I'm going to double click inside of my viewport. And I'm going to zoom through until I have this foundation plan kind of in my sights. From here, I'm going to click on my scaling. And I'm going to change this to make sure this is 1/4 of an inch equal foot. Right there. You can see it zooms out, and that's perfectly fine. I'm going to lock it right here. I'm going to do the same for A1.2. And I would do the same for 1.3. There's another thing you can also do, however, to double check yourself. I know an ArchD sheet is 24 by 36. So with my viewport layer, because it's a no plot layer, I'm going to draw a 24 by 36 inch rectangle. Now this, if you want to imagine it to anything, this is the 1-to-1 scale size page is this. So what I can do is I'm going to do the scale command, select my object, and I'm going to do 48. I can move this so that my building is in there perfectly, and I'm actually going to simply move my guides outside of that. I'm going to do a copy command, the same thing right above it, and above that as well. And I will move both of these drawings to the centers of these, roughly. What this allows me to do is allows me to know exactly where my viewports are, where my sheets are from model space. So A1.1, I can see where my viewport is. I mean, I can see a little edge of it, but that's perfectly fine. I go to A1.2, I click in here, I zoom in around my floor plan, change this to 1/4 inch equals a foot, and then lock it. Then finally A1.3, double click in here, floor plan, 1/4 inch equals a foot. Make it so that looks pretty centered. Lock it. Good to go. Great. Now I have 3 sheets, which I can double check while going. Now you may notice that these lines are solid on the on the piece of paper, but they're not on here. I just did a regenerate command, and then it just made it all broken again on both. What you're going to want to do, and when you make sure is current and active, is that your scale is set to 1/4 inch equals a foot down here. You also want to make sure that if you type in LTS for line type scale, that is set to 1. Notice how this is now accurate, and this is also now accurate. It's exactly what we want to see. Well, wouldn't you know it, we're done with step 2 already. All that leaves is 1 step left. And that is to actually modify the drawings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create all the new layers, which I already did. So that will be your next step, is to follow the directions right over here for all these new layers. And you're going to continue on. So if we're breaking this down into chunks, I want to start with the doors. Well, I'll start with the foundation, then go to the first floor, and then the second floor. Well, the foundation plan, I don't have any doors I need to create. So I'm good. Actually, give me one moment. I'm going to pause this. We'll be right back. I need to add one more sheet to my side of my page. It'll be right up here. And we're back. All I did was I added my Milestone 2 assignment to here. That'll be useful. Wonderful. Next up, I am going to just consult with here. So I don't have any doors I need to add. I already added the windows. So I want to do this floor plan first. So I don't have any doors to add. I already did the windows back in this Milestone assignment. I do need to add the window tags, however. So I may as well start this process now. I can see here that all 4 of these are tagged H. We'll use this foundation plan as a practice as we're going. So I'm going to go and click on this drop down, and I'm going to find my, where is it? My A window tag here. I'm going to go to the annotate tab, and I'm going to click on multi-line text, or I'll even do single line text. And I'm going to do H. Just like so. Please note that the dimensions and everything like that on these handouts are bigger than you will actually have. These are bigger, and this is set to a 3/16 of an inch scale because to make it more legible on the 11x17 handouts. So I have a letter, in this case is H. I'm just going to draw a circle. I'm going to find around the midpoint of this H. Draw a circle just like that. And quite simply, I'm going to take it, I'm going to move this into place, making sure I'm not overlapping any other geometry. I'm going to do a Control C and a Control V. Just like so. May need to end up scooching these over a little bit later, but that's perfectly fine. Cool, so I did my window tags, and honestly, if nothing else, we can expand this. So how about this? I'm going to expand this right now so we can check off more things and get more dopamine. Okay, so what I've done is I've expanded this, essentially, so I have my foundation and then everything I had before, first floor, and then second floor. I want to do my foundation, so I'm going to just cross some things off. Well, I know I don't need any doors. I don't care about the layer of this. I know at all. No doors whatsoever. Windows, I just did the tags and the line, so it's perfectly good. There's no casework down here, nor is there any plumbing, nor is there any furnishings. So all I have left to do is the annotations for this. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to activate my my A dimension layer, and I'm going to directly copy the dimensions that we see here. So I have they go to the outsides of these windows and everything like that, and I see how this goes. So all this assignment is asking you to do is copy. So I'll make one dimension there. I'll go to my annotate tab, do continue, and I'm just gonna continue forward. I'll do another linear dimension. Goes right up to here, which continues on to this point. And a final one, which goes to end to end. I may need to do a stretch command. Bring all of these down a little bit more. Bring these down a smidge more, just so I have more room. I know I have a dimension from here to the center line of the circle, which is noted at 6 inches. Just gotta be careful. And I have a dimension from the center line to the center line. Great. Now I can go back to this drawing. My left side, I'm seeing 7-4. Like I'm going from this pier footing to here. I don't have anything else in between. So I go from here to here. So pull a continue command, and then the other pier footing. On this side, I'm sure it's going to be the exact same. This guy, a little bit, continue. Bring it all to the points where it's at. On this bottom half, I don't even have anything that is there. And honestly, what I'm going to do, this is easier for you if you have it like directly in front of you. Which I don't, and well, I can, but I have this set up so I can show you what I'm doing here. I'm moving this over here so you can see the dimensions I'm doing. This line of dimensions does just this. I'm going to grab our linear dimension, go from here to here. Just like so. That looks good to me. What else? I also have this center to center here. And this center to the edge here. I may even go the other order around so it faces the direction. Now, please note that there is text on here, and I will come back and do that. But for now, I have more dimensions, basic dimensions to put in. I have this entire end here. Not super worried about overlapping. Because again, I'm going to remove this before printing. I have the thickness of the wall right here. And the thickness of the foundation. Or the footing, rather. I also have a dimension from the the outside here. Side. 12 and an eighth. 12 and an eighth. 15, 7 and 7 eighths. 15, 7 and 7 eighths. All looking good so far. I also have 8'11" typical. First one goes from the face to center. Continue from center to center. Great. Finally, I needed to locate this guy, so just any other dimensions that I need to do. Not immediately obvious. I have some leaders, but for now I want to modify these. So this goes center to center typical. So I can modify this text. I can double click on this. Center to center TYP. I may even just that. Same thing on the top. 0. Perfection. Next up, I have these MO text right underneath these dimensions here. So I need to add that. I believe after that, that's the last one I need to add. I have this plus or minus 4, 3 and an eighth. You can put it on there. You don't have to. All that's doing, that was for you to. Anyway, I have the Oh, typical for both of those in MO. I'll do the typical first. I'll just double click on this text. This guy. Just like so. Next up, I'm going to pull a single line text. Just anywhere. M.O. I'm going to move this the underside of this guy here. And I'm simply going to copy it around. There. Perfection. Last but certainly not least, there. And here. Great. Next up, what I need to do is I need to add all these leaders, and that's going to be the end of the foundation. I'll start from the top. I have this 18-inch diameter by 6-foot concrete pure typical. Grab a multi-leader. 18-inch diameter by 6-foot 0-inch concrete pure. Just double check to make sure that that's all great. Yeah, this is perfectly fine. Not gonna lose sweat over something. I'm gonna do the beam pocket next. 7-inch by 7-inch beam pocket typical. 7-inch by 7-inch beam pocket. Perfection. I have the 2-foot square column footings. 2-foot 0-inch square column. Check to make sure that, yeah, COL. I'll just abbreviate it the same way. Four-inch diameter steel lally column typical. From here, what I may do is I may adjust these up a little bit. Just so not over on top, directly on top of each other. Okay. 4-inch concrete floor slab with 0.006 vapor barrier and 4-inch gravel base. Woof. Let's do this guy. Multi-leader, I'm just gonna pull down here. I'm just gonna scroll out so I can see the text here. 4-inch conch floor slab with 0.006 vapor on 4-inch gravel base. Now I may move this bit there. I'm going to click on the add a leader button right here. Click on this guy. I'll click somewhere down there. Looks good to me. Next up, I have built up beam for 2x10s. Here. For 2x10s. You can use spaces. Adjust this to be good. Next up, I have a multi-leader in here. This is for compact fill. Add a leader. So. And what I, almost the last piece of this guy, we have the up 14 risers icon here. In order to do that, I'm going to grab a multi-leader. Grab this by the center of the stair here. I'm not going to put text there. let this look like this. I'm gonna grab a single line. And then this is up 14R. Looks like so. Great. The last thing I need to do on here is adding a north arrow, just like we see on these. What I need to do is I'm going to go to the design center. For me, DC. You may also do other things. There are also other things you can do. You can go to the view tab. I mean, there's lectures on that, so please review that if you need assistance on that. I'm going to go to the ENUS, Design Center, and I'm going to go to Landscaping, Blocks, and I'm going to find this north arrow. I'm going to click and drag it in. I'll close that. Note how small this is. I'm actually going to do a scale command. And I'll scale up 2 times. You can scale up 3, you can scale up 4. You just don't want it to be super overpowering. Scaled up. I'm going to grab some text that I have. So I'm even just going to, I can grab the MO. Paste. Called north. And then just maneuver it so that's roughly just like so. Now if I go to my A1.1, it looks something like this. If I delete this page and I go to print this and I can preview it, this is what this page looks like now. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Great. We've completed one of these. We still have 2 more to do. And this was the easy one. This is our warm-up. So I'm going to start with the doors on the first floor. Now what I'm going to do for this as well is I'm going to take the door schedule, bring it in, and the walls, and the plan drawing. Let me. Great. A great first step to do is to make your wall openings. Good first step. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on the outside and work my way in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set my wall layer current and I'm going to work based on this. So I can see that this door right here, it is 2 feet 1.5. The center of this door is 2 feet 1.5 from this face of the wall, the left face of that wall. So offset 2 feet 1.5 the right, just like so. This door is also called out on the drawing as being door number 1. Door number 1 right here says the size is 3 feet by 6 feet. The 6 feet doesn't matter, 3 feet does. I'm going to do an offset of 1'6" to either side, because again, makes 3 feet in the end. I'm going to extend these lines down. I'm going to trim out that guy there, and I'll draw those end pieces back on, just like so. Be sure to consult the drawing. We can see here there's another line that does go across at the front here, and I do want to respect that, so I'm going to redraw this line at the front. Perfectly normal to see on walls on the exterior. Doors in the exterior. Another door we need to do on the exterior is this guy, number 2. Number 2, we have a note here. It is 311 3/16 from this face of this wall. Offset 3 feet 11 3/16 from the face of this wall. Now this door is tagged as number 2. Simple enough. Door number 2 is 6 feet wide. Also pretty simple. I'm going to offset by 3 feet to either side. Extend, trim that all out, and I'll even just trim that out there, and I'm laughing. It's perfect. Exactly what I'm looking for. Now in the garage, we have these two garage doors, of course, and we need to draw them. So I'm going to create the openings for now, and I'll draw these guys later. They're 9 feet 10 inches wide, as we can see on the handout, and they're 1 foot 11.5 away from that wall, at least starting. Offset 1 foot 11.5 from that wall. Here. From here, I'm even just going to extend and do that trim now. I'm going to copy this guy over. Was it 9 feet and what? 10? Yeah, perfect. 9 feet 10. I'll do another offset and bring it back over 9 feet 10. Now these guys, there's no line on the exterior side. I'm just going to trim it out. Looking good. Next up, I have this opening over here. This wall opening is, I believe it's 3 feet. I don't have any dimensions to locate it, so I'm just going to have to draw it and estimate. This is the center of the room. Offset 1 foot 6. Side. Bend that down other side there. Trim that all out. Perfect. I have this door tag number 4. If I was a betting man, that'd be 36 inches wide, or 3 feet. Number 4, 3 feet. Right here, it's in the center. Easy enough. I have another door, tag number 6. Door number 6, it is 2 feet 6 inches wide. I want to notice something here. You see how we don't have a dimension here, but it's not centered on the wall, so we can't assume it's centered? There's another assumption that we have to make. We have to assume that this jamb right here is 4 inches. That is typical. Offset 4. Offset 2 feet 6. Extend, extend, trim, trim, trim. That's where that door will go. Perfect. So this section is done. Now I'm going to start and I'm going to do the master bedroom. Door number 5, that is a 3 feet wide. And again, assume 4-inch jamb. Just in the room, I got 2 of these that are number 7 and another number 6. I'll do the 6 first. I do already know which one this is. The number 6, it is 2 feet 6 inches wide, which is 1, 3 twice. Oh. And then I have door number 7. It's 2 feet wide. Pretty basic. Side, offset 12. Left, right. Right. Trim it out. So, do a quick save. Awesome. Next up, in the bathroom, I have a linen closet. That is door number 8. Door number 8 is 1 foot 6 inches. Here, offset. An easy way to think about it, if you don't immediately know what the half of 1 foot 6 inches is, add 1 foot and 6 inches together to make inches, essentially. 1 foot 6 inches, I know, is 18 inches, because 12 plus 6 is 18. But I know what half of 18 is, it's 9. So I'm going to offset this up and down to 9. That. Looking great. Next up in the bathroom, I have another door tag number 6. So I'm going to draw a line right there. Offset 1 foot 3. Offset 1 foot 3. Again, 2 foot 6 halved. In the bathroom, in the bedroom layout is good. Now I just have 2 more doors to do. I have the one entering the stairs here, and I have the one for the closet, the pantry / laundry. Going downstairs is another number 6 tag door, so I'll just do that. Pretty basic. And the last guy on here is a number 9 tagged door. Now, door tag number 9 is 2 feet 6 inches wide. Double check some things. The opening for this door isn't centered on this room. I'm gonna save this for a little bit later, I believe. Double checking myself, looking at the line work in here, making sure it's all good. Okay. I can verify myself. I believe the extension on these feet is 2 feet wall. That's fine. 2 feet 6 in the wall, going to about there, meaning about 5 feet away from the center there. Anyway, if I just draw a random line here at 5 feet, what is this dimension? Around 18 inches. So I'm going to offset by 18 inches here. Again, this is in one of those locations where you can estimate because it's not given. 2 foot 6. Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my layer to the A door layer. Now would also be a great time to save. I'm going to start with all the basic doors. All the ones that look like this. Notice that we have width, radius width, and 1 inch. Makes it very, very simple. This entry door is 3 feet wide. Double check how the door swings. The door swings up and to the left or into the left. So this goes from this corner 3 feet. I will then do either a circle or not a hatch, or an arc. There are a couple of these that you can use. You have like start, center, length. So like start, center, length. And I'll offset 1 inch. And that door's done. I don't have to do anything else to that. I can see that this door is 3 feet wide, so 36. And then I can do the same radius, and I can do everything like that. Alternatively, I can simply copy this to here and rotate this like so. That's good. I also know I have more of these, so I'll just copy this to here. However, this mirrors on the other side, so I'm going to grab this and do a mirror command and delete source objects, just like so. It looks like that. Now, most of the rest of the doors on this level are all tag number 6. So, what we can do from there is I'm just going to draw one of these at number 6. This goes up and to the left, up and to the right. This is 2 feet 6 inches. I'm going to grab my start, center. Of course, it's going to be odd. Offset an inch. Simply grab this. I'm going to copy it around anywhere that it needs to be. For now, just those 2 locations, because those are the swing is the same way. I can copy this again, bring this to here, and do a mirror command to flip the swing. One more of these right here, and the swings in this direction. Pretty basic. Just like so. Now, I have a couple of these specialty doors just like this. I know that this is 2 feet long. So I know, and this also gets broken into 2 individual components. You see how this has it like here. So, pretty basic. 2 feet, so each of these segments is 1 foot long. So I'll do 12, tab 45. And very basically, I will just do a mirror command. So, and then I'll simply copy this side like that. This door tagged 1'6", same kind of deal. I'm gonna go double check which side it matches to. It's the bottom side. Great. So it should be 9 inches at 135 degrees. Mirror command with F8. Perfection. Easy enough. This door on the exterior, that's this guy, and it's very easy to do. Each of the panels are 1 3/4 inch wide, so that's all you need to know. That's all you need to do differently. With my door, I'm literally just going to draw a line from the midpoint to midpoint, offset up and down 1.75 inches, and draw a line through the midpoint like this, trim it out like that, and it's already great. Last interior door that we have, last interior door we have is this number 9. This is the most complex door in this project. We have our drawing element here, but it is still pretty basic. All I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to offset 2 feet 6 inches, because that'll give me the back of my opening. I'm going to draw a line here to here, and I'm going to offset this by 3/4 of an inch, both up and down. I'm then going to do a match properties, because that 3/4 of an inch either side, the 1.5 inches, that is the pocket in which the door sits in. I will even trim that out. I'm then going to do a lengthen command, LENDE 2 inches, because my actual door is 2 feet 8 inches long, so it doesn't fall out of the pocket door. I'm going to move it out an arbitrary amount, trim this guy here, offset by 0.5, half an inch, the top and to the bottom. Ooh, I offset this stuff wrong. Move that, offset 0.75. I may have up. Fill it, delete that, match properties. There we go. Trim it all out. Then with my door tool, just draw. That's perfect. Next up, I have these garage doors. And the garage doors, you can draw them at you can either do 1 3/4 or 2 inch thickness. Very easy. I'm gonna do 2, up, over, up. Perfect. Just like so. Looking good. Next up, for just for these garage doors, we have the supporting line. It is our A above layer. So I'm gonna grab my A above, and I'm gonna draw a line 8 feet deep, both sides, just like so. Why 8 feet? Well, the notation's here for 8 feet, and also the door is only 8 feet tall. Great. Exactly what we want. Also, with our A above layer, I'm going to draw a line on either side of this. Because it's a simple wall opening, it's you have wall above this. It's like a doorway, essentially. Good place to save. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my A door tag layer active. I'm going to do a single line text, and I'm going to type in A, or it's 1 rather, not A1. I'm then going to go home and then grab my polygon tool, 6-sided polygon, does not matter which one. And I'm just going to create a shape like this. Now, I like to set them inside the door, like so. I may even scale this down. So I know this guy's 1. I know this guy is 2. Where am I doing it? Yeah, the tags on for the doors are on the inside. These guys are 3. Do I have any 4s? I do. 4. I believe this guy's 5. No, for a fact this is 6. Copy this 6 around a few times. So these guys are both 7. Which one is that? Is 1'6". That's 8, and then the pocket doors. Another good place to save. And we're making really good progress on this. And in fact, I can go to my checklist, and then I can cross off all of my things for my doors. I've done the doors, lines, and the tags. Next up, I have windows. The windows are pretty easy. Excuse me. Windows are pretty easy. All we're doing is we're drawing the boundaries of the window itself, and then a line going through the midpoint. Also, quick note, on these windows here, these A windows, between them, that is a 2-inch mullion. So keep that in mind with these doubled up windows. There's only 2 of them, so let's keep that in mind when we're doing this. We'll start with A, pretty basic. Our A window is 2 feet 7 1/16 of an inch wide. In this case, it may be beneficial to simply start by drawing it. I'll just draw my center line, 2 feet 7 1/16 wide. Change this over to be my A window layer. Set that to current. This window is 8'8" 1/16 away from the exterior wall. Offset 8'8" 1/16 away from the exterior wall. Like so. Let me double check. 8'8" 1/16. Perfect. Now remember, this is the center of both of these windows. And in the center of the windows is a 2-inch mullion. So I'm going to offset this to 1 inch on either side. I'm then going to simply grab this line here, copy it to both sides, draw a line down, extend up. I even just copy this over. And now I have a set of A windows. Now, here's the other thing. With these A windows, now that I've made them, I don't have to remake them. I know it's going to be literally at the same exact spot on the other side, 8'8" 1/16. 8'8" 1/16. What I can do is offset 8'8" 1/16 this face. I can draw a temporary line between these two. Do a copy command from the center, just like so. Bring it to there. That looks great. I also have another window on the front of this house, and that is this window E, which is 2 feet 3 inches away from the center of the door. Window E, looking like this. Window E is doors. Where's the? Oh, I didn't bring the window schedule over. I should probably do that. I'll delete the door schedule, and I'm gonna copy my window schedule. I do apologize if you can hear my cat. She is needy right now. I just started this. Okay, so you may be hearing her through this. Oh well. Anyway, this is a 1 foot wide window, flat. Pretty basic. And again, it is 2 feet 3 inches from there, from the center of this door. From here, I may even just draw a temporary line, offset 2 feet 3 inches. I did 2 feet 3 inches. I did 2.4 by accident. It's not letting me offset it. There we go. I'm going to offset it by 6 inches on either side. Bend, trim, grab a line, and cover that up. Good place to save. I'm going to take a brief pause. I'll be right back. She is quite a bother, and as soon as I start talking again... Alright, we're just going to power through this. So, we've done this front of the facade. Let's do the rear of the building next. There's no windows in the garage. There's no windows on this side of the house. There are 3 on the back. You have B, C, and D. So it's 3 unique, windows. Window B, the center of it is 5'2" and 5/16. Offset 5'2". Away from the wall. And window B is also 2'5" and 5/8 wide. Offset. How would I want to do this? 2 feet 5/5. I'll do it this other way. I'll do this. I'm gonna make a trim. Note that sometimes you have to delete those extensions. Currently have a wall layer active. Wanted a wall layer active. Go. That active. Set these to be. So I'm gonna draw a line between them. And I'm simply going to do a move command and move it until it gives me the object snap for where the edge of it currently is. Just like so. It's in place. Window C is 4'10" and 11/16 away from the center of that door. Set 4 feet 10, 11/16. And window C is a width of 2, 5, and 5/8 as well. Two feet 5. Draw. I'm going to do it to the right this time. Draw the line extension between them. Move this via the center to there. Do a save command. Great. Lastly, I have window D. Just note that there's another line in the center of this one intentionally. That's because it's a casement window like this. Window D is going to be 2 feet 9 and 3/4 wide. What I may even do is I'll just draw this. There's also another way you can do it. You can draw them. Oops. You can draw them outside of the building. What was it? 2 feet 9 and 3/4. Offset 2 feet 9 3/4. Draw outside of the building like this, and then move it into place. So where that place is 8 foot 1 and 9/16 from the center, but I'm not going to go by there. I have this wall here, offset 4'8" from this face of this. Simply grab this, move this by the center point, just like so. Another save command. And well, wouldn't you know it, I've just completed another of my tasks. Done my lines. I'm going to do my tags next. In order to do this, and for consistency's sake, I'm going to copy my H window tag from the previous guy. I'm going to paste it on each of these. So this is going to be an A window. Copy, paste, paste, paste. This guy is E window, double check, E window, and on the top it's B, C, and D. That'll be B, this will be C, D, D, and B. Save command, good to go. And that is our tags done already. This is going swimmingly. Remember, breaking it off into bite-sized chunks is absolutely your best bet. My next step is my casework. Now, I have casework down, so I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna grab my my kitchen layout right here. I'm just gonna copy it. And again, for you guys, you have the physical paper. I do not. I'm gonna paste it in there, and I'm gonna delete that layout. Now, this is what this looks like, and we'll be using a couple different layers in here. We have a above, we have a below, cabinets above, or upper cabinets, lower cabinets. I believe casework is a layer, or it's countertops. Or it's just lower cab. That's perfectly fine. We're going to be using plumbing in here and appliance. But we're going to start with the A lower cabinets. So, cabinets are always, what is the depth of the cabinets? 2 feet deep. 2 feet deep. So, I'm simply going to start off by doing an offset of 24 inches. Here and here. Filleting the corner and making these the lower cabinet layer, like so. From here, I know from right here to the end of this, it goes 6 feet 4, offset 6 foot 4 inches. Extend, trim, trim. This goes 1 foot, and then it ends. Offset 1 foot. Trim, trim. And then it goes 2 foot 6 across. 2 feet 6 inches, because that's the width of that appliance, which we'll be adding in a moment. And then 1 foot 4 1/4. Offset 1 foot 4. Oops. Foot 4 1/4. Like so. I'll trim out both of those like so. And this extends out a distance. And that is set here. It is essentially 2 feet 5, 2 feet 5, and then another 2 feet 5. You can do your simple math. You can also use your quick calculator, anything like that. You can also simply offset it 2 feet 5 inches multiple times. I'm not going to use the calculator. I'm just going to do the offset method because that's what I'm most comfortable with. I'm going to offset it 2 feet 5 inches. Once, twice, thrice. Match the properties of this guy. Delete that. Draw this line over. Trim here. Also note that the thickness of this countertop is substantial. It is 3 feet deep. It is deeper than normal. Why is that, you may be asking? Well, yeah, that's because you have base cabinets under here, and then you have nothing right here because it needs to be leg room for people in the stools. So simply, I'm going to do another offset of 2 feet right here, extend, and I'm going to change this to my A below layer. Great. I'll add the appliances later. What I will do from here, however, is I'm going to add my upper cabinets. So I'm going to grab my upper cabinet. Blah, blah. Upper cabinets, perfect. And these are 1 foot deep. These can be different sizes, but in this case, 1 foot deep is our depth. Offset 12 inches. I'm just going to do an offset here, here. Fill out these together, and then set these to my upper cabinet layer. just like so. Now from here, we have some things we need to do. This goes over and down by a foot for this simple cabinet. Offset a foot, over and down. Extend, extend, trim all that, delete, delete. We have this kind of corner here. Goes over another foot. So. And then it skips over 3 feet 3 inches. We can see a 2 inch and then a 1 inch and then 3 feet. Offset 3 foot 3. I'm gonna trim out this interior. And we bring this over. Oh, let me double check that. I'm sorry, it's 2 on both sides. Moved over too much. That other dimension was denoting this dishwasher. Perfectly fine. The 1 inch is not denoting this either. This is going to go to the end of this line here and then an additional 3 feet. So from here, I'm going to do a lengthen command by 36 inches. Bring that into the wall. Now, from here on this bottom half, from here it goes down 5 feet. And it just ends. Great. This is looking wonderful. Exactly how we expect it to look. We should also know, we can also double check ourselves. The distance from the countertop on this side to this side should be 4 foot 10 and a quarter. 4'10" and a quarter. Phenomenal. From here, what I would like to do is I want to add some of these appliances. I need to add a sink, I need to add the stove, and I need to add the refrigerator and this dishwasher. I'm going to start with the range. I'm going to go to my design center. For me, it's DC. And then I'm going to navigate home, ENUS, design center, and then kitchens.dwg, blocks. From here, I'm going to grab a couple things. I'm going to click and drag this range top 30-inch oven in. Notice how it's like a weird layer. It's perfectly fine. We'll modify that. I also want my refrigerator 2-door top down. And sink double. Which faucet is faucet sink kit? I'll close it. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my this guy, grab my sink, and I'm going to move it to the midpoint of this window. Then from there, I'm going to grab the midpoint of the sink here, pull it down, and move it to the midpoint of that, essentially making the gap at this end of the sink and this end of the sink the same. I'm then going to select the sink and my faucet, and I'm going to change these to my A plumbing layer. And finally, I'm going to move this guy up onto this gap, and I'm just going to eyeball this. That's perfectly fine. It's exactly what we want. There was originally a note for the gap at the back, but it's perfectly fine. You can do 1 inch, you can do less than an inch. Doesn't really matter. Let's just see what I did. Yeah, this is 1.5 inches. It'll be the same on both sides. It is. Perfect. I'm now going to grab both of my appliances that I brought in, set them to my A appliance layer, and pretty simply, I'm just going to move them to their position. The refrigerator, move up here. I may pull it out from the wall by 1 inch, only because that's what typically happens. I'm going to rotate my range and move this in. So. That is looking great. Next up, I have a dishwasher under here. So I'm going to grab my A appliance below, or A app below. 2 feet wide. It's 1 inch from this side here and 1 inch from that side there. So very simply, offset of 1 inch. Offset of 1 inch, rather. There we go. Offset of 24 inches. Set this to be A appliance below. Not 0. A appliance below. And then I'm going to grab a text box. DW. Don't worry that it looks big here, especially in comparison to what's on here. When you're zoomed out, you need to see that. Continuing forward, I have another line, which is I need to do an A above layer, or A above line, which goes from the end of this counter. That's because right along here, right along this wall, there is some structure, and there is a balcony right along there. So we need to show that. Also, the final piece of our actual kitchen layout, are our stools, rather. These are going to be on our A furnishings layer. Where is my A furnishing? Oh, I don't have it. Let me create that really quick. And I'm back, and I've done it. So now what I can do is I'm going to do an offset of 1 foot 2.5 here, and offset 2 feet 5 twice more. At the ends of these will be the centers of these circular stools. And very simply, I'm going to grab a circle tool. These are radius 7.5, 7.5. Trim this out, copy it, or save. That's looking good. I'll delete this, and we'll move on. And wouldn't you know it, that's another thing that we can cross off our list as being completed. Actually, you know what? No, it's not. That is casework. We still have some casework to do. There's some in the garage, and then the rest of the stuff will be considered plumbing. So we'll deal with that then. But we have this stuff in the garage to deal with. Very basically, it's 4 feet in either side, it's 2 feet deep. Very, very, very simple. Offset 24 inches. Offset 4 feet. Here and here. Trim. All of this is going to be a lower cab. Then a line going through here. A upper cab. Find these things. Another save. And that's the casework completed. Another good time. Next up is plumbing. Big step. We basically are going to go bathroom by bathroom. Now, on this floor plan, there are 2 bathrooms at this level. As part of our plumbing, I'm also going to go through and I'm going to add the shelves around where they need it. Also, keep in mind, there are some appliances elsewhere that need to be put in, or rather, need to be drawn, and we'll do that. But for now, we're going to do our plumbing. This upper bathroom up here, it has a sink, very basically, and a toilet. It is just a half bath. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to go to DC, Design Center. What I may even do in like a best quality of life thing, I'm going to make sure my plumbing layer is set. I'm going to go in here, back a few. I'm going to find my home space plan. I'll double check in here, see if there's any plumbing stuff in here, which is not. Perfectly fine. I'm going to find House Designer, I believe. Yeah, House Designer. I'm going to pull in some of these blocks I'm going to need. My bathtub, I'll bring that right in. I'm going to bring in, what else? I'm going to bring in my faucet bathroom, like my top view. Back. My toilet top and my sink oval. I believe that's what I'll need. Let's continue. So, 99 to 100% of this will be drawn on your plumbing layer. You will have some on the lower cabinets, like your actual sink base and everything like that. But we need to keep some things in mind. Plumbing code states that your sink or your toilet needs 18 inches of clear space on either side. This is the space in which the toilet can sit. So I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it into this room. Delete my guidelines. Doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter very much. I'll put it in here. Next up, out of the way, I may as well preset this guy. Good. And I'm going to be completely clear. What I had to do to get this plan to work effectively, which with what a sink basin like this would actually be sized at, I had to scale this down. I did a scale command, scaled it by times 0.6. This is a little bit more realistic in what you'd see in a bathroom sink now. What I'll do is I'm going to copy this group. I'm going to paste it in here. Sink cabinetry is 22 inches deep in a vanity. That's 22 inches deep. Again, if we're double checking our 18 inches space, not straight. 18 inches of space. This is all of the code compliant area that I have to make a sink. Come on. So, let me just double check this. I'm going to take this, move it into place. Okay, I just had to double check myself here. In the drawing file, I have this quite thin at, like unrealistically thin, drawn to 1'6" or 18 inches. You should be putting them, come on, here, model tab, please. Yeah, you should be drawing them to 22 inches deep. You may even be able to, okay, give me 1 second here. You may even be able to not scale them down. You're gonna have. That's perfectly fine. You'll just take this. You can even adjust the scale if necessary, if you so choose. This is not a big part of the grade, or really any. As long as you have the sink in here, representational, all that matters. Cool. Let's continue. That's one bathroom down. We got one more to go. Now, this is the harder one. Well, in this bathroom, on the right side, I have a tub. That is pretty basic. I'm going to do a copy command. I'm going to copy this tub in. I'm going to rotate it in place. And that's one half of this bathroom done. Easy as pie. With my plumbing layer intact, I'm going to mirror a line to the other side. And this is going to be the boundary of my shower. Very simply, I'm just going to draw an X through it. If you want to double check what you're doing, it's 3 feet wide by around 5 feet long. Should be exactly 5 feet. Yeah, there we go. 3 by 5. And then you can do a circle with a 2-inch radius in the center for our drain. That's our shower and tub already done. Easy as pie. Next up, we can do these guys here, these two sinks. I'm just going to do an offset of 22 inches. I'm going to match properties with my lower cabinets because it's the same as my lower cabinetry. I'm going to copy my sink over, rotate it, move it into place. And then in this case, I will be mirroring it down. So it's even. So it's a his and her vanity setup. Lastly, there's a toilet here. I'm going to pick up the pace because we've been at this for quite a while. But this is looking great. Cool. Next up, I am going to grab my... Which layer would I like to use? I'm going to use my A upper cabinet layer, personally, in order to draw these pantry lines, these closet lines, everything like that. In this case, I'm just going to draw it across the center of all these. Perfectly fine. Drawing it kind of close. Good. In this case, doing it intentionally is good on this side. And we still have some more to do in this room. Don't you fret. So you draw these guys in. Is there any other of those around? Double check. Does not look like it. Great. So, next up, I need to add the stacked washer dryer, and then we can go on to the official furnishings, which is great. The stacked washer dryer, you can estimate its size. It is pretty simple. I'm going to use my plumbing layer because they are typically plumbed. I am going to grab it, grab a rectangle, and in my personal case, I am going to do... You can do a 2 feet by 2 feet square. Maybe you do 36 wide. Oops. Anything really works. Just place it in here. And the important part is putting in text. I'm just going to copy what I have from here, change this to, I'll even leave this on this A appliance below layer, perfectly fine. I'm going to rename this stacked washer dryer. I'll do a space and an ampersand. So, enter, oh, this is single line text. Never mind, I'm going to do a multi-line text in here. Stacked washer and dryer. I'm going to rescale it a little bit to make sure that it like a nice block text. I'm going to do an actual scale command to get this to actually fit in here. Well, like so. Looking good. Do another quick save. I'm going to look at my list of my to-dos. Plumbing, consider that checked off. Next up is furnishings and then annotations. So we'll go room by room. We'll start in the living room, and then we'll move to this kitchen dining. We'll get this area out of the way, and then we'll do the bedroom and the garage. Or maybe a different order as we take it. So what I'm going to do first is for the living room, I'm just going to load in the blocks that I need. I know I need some things, and I can also see, since I'm giving you dimensions for this rectangle and this smaller rectangle here, that means I'm asking for you to draw it. So I'm actually just going to draw this first. I'm going to draw this, again, this all needs to be on the A furnishings layer. I'm going to grab, and also for now, I'm going to set this layer to white so you can see it better, because it can be kind of difficult to see. This is going to be 6 feet, and then it is going to be, what is it, 1'7", 6 feet, 1'7". Offset this in by 3 inches. And this television, which is what this is a total width of 5 feet 5 inches. 5'5". Draw a temporary line for myself for alignment. Move this to there like so. Trim. Trim. That's this guy. Perfect. I will then take this, perform a copy command, and place him at the center of this wall here. I'll delete this back. Like so. I believe that's the only one of these, and if it's not, we can always copy it again. So I'm just going to delete the first part. And let's load in some of these components that we're going to need. So we have a grand piano. Just gonna move this here. I have a grand piano, so I'm gonna go ENUS, dynamic or design center. I'm gonna start with home space planning, blocks. This is a baby grand rather, a baby grand piano, sofa round back. That's the small one, sofa round back. And that is it for this room. We have a stool, but it is the same as these stools over here. Now, furniture, this is something that is like you're placing it by your own intuition. So I'm literally just going to place this how I think it should be placed. I'm going to copy one of these stools. Come on. Place this stool in place. I'm going to take this couch, rotate it, place it in this room. So, again, does not have to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Next up, I have a dining table. Is that in this piece? Just look in the design center. Dining table. I have table rectangular. And I also have a table rectangular. Back. House design. Particular for kitchens. Cool. Home space plan. Adding this. Add some chairs. Oh, I am blind. We have dining set 36 by 72. Perfection. I drew this and I'm missing it. I'm just gonna copy this into place like so. Doesn't have to be perfect. Again, this is all by design to improve space planning. Wonderful. Last but not least, we have the master bedroom. So in the master bedroom, it looks like we have a couple things. We have a desk, and come on, Air Properties Manager, work with me here. We have a queen size bed, just like so. We also have a drawn element with a TV, which again, we'll draw that together. I have a desk chair. I also have a desk phone. And I also have, face it, a desk. I also in here need the table lamp. But that is something else. Let's place this furniture in. So I'm just gonna copy this bed, or I'm gonna cut this bed in, rotate, place the headboard against the wall, leave that like so. These lamps go on 1 foot 6-inch square tables. I'm just gonna paste one of these in here. Rectangle, 1 foot 6, 1 foot 6. I'm gonna change all this. Oh, I can't change. Awesome. I'm just gonna move my lamp in here. You can estimate the center. I am not. Estimate the center if you need. Place it here, and then just mirror it to the other side of the bed. Like so. Looking good. Next up, what I'm going to do is I am going to move this desk in, or if nothing else, I can simply set up what I want to do with this desk here first. So simply, I just take the desk, I can rotate the phone to be some kind of oblique angle, nothing crazy. The chair itself, I can rotate, and then I can copy this all into here. Again, nothing special. That looks good to me. I'm actually literally going to delete all that so I can keep going. I have a 4 foot by 2 foot dresser at the end of the bed. I'm just gonna draw a line that extends out here. And this is a 2 feet by 4 foot dresser, so I'm gonna do another 2 feet side. So I'm also gonna offset out 3 feet, then offset out 3 inches. 3 inches, match properties. Oh my lord, I cannot grab it. There we go. And this TV is 5 feet wide again. So quite literally, I can grab this TV, I can copy this, paste it, delete the line I even created. Trim out, bring back. Perfect. We got that. And that's the bedroom sorted. And if honestly, we're almost done with the furnishings in here. We just have the porch. There are 4 rocking chairs, and we have the garage. So why don't we do that? The rocking chairs, very simple to find. I'm just simply gonna grab a rocking chair, and then I'm gonna rotate this mirror command some way. I'm gonna center this by I. Go. On one of these windows. I'm gonna mirror this. Next up, we have our garage. Now the garage will be pretty easy. We have 2 cars to put in there, and so let's do that. So in the design center, for the cars, we're gonna have to go home, ENUS. Now dynamic blocks this time. Architectural imperial blocks, and then I'm just gonna drag and drop this vehicle in. Now I'm gonna click on this little icon down at the bottom corner of it, and I want a sports car top. I'm gonna rotate it, and I may even rotate it again because they drove into the garage. They didn't back in. And I'll just literally copy this to the other side. And I believe this other guy is a sedan. Just like so. These are old cars. Now, that is it. That's all the furnishings. So that's another piece of our list. Don't worry, the second floor will go a lot faster. One thing I want to do is I'm going to select everything here and make sure this says by layer. That's just me. You don't have to do that. I'm only doing it because I changed the colors. Cool. I need to add my north arrow, and I'm literally just going to copy my north arrow from my previous drawing up. That's all I need to do. And from here, I need to replicate the dimensions that I see. I'll start on the outside and work my way in. So, very simply, I'm going to grab my A annotation or A dimension layer. So first step is I'm going to go through and basically grab everything. And then I'm going to grab just the walls and then the broad strokes. Then I'm laughing. So what do I mean by that? So I'm going to grab a dimension and go, oh, okay, second here. I'm going to make a dimension from the outside to here because I know where the dimensions are going, just like so. I'm going to grab my continue dimension and I'm going to go to this wall and then again to the center of this door, center of this window, center of this window, this wall, the right side of this wall, and that face up there. Oh, it should be the left face of that wall. Oops. Like so. That's me grabbing everything. I may even do a stretch command just to bring this in a bit because it's a little far out. I'll now do another dimension, but this time, instead of grabbing everything, I'm just gonna grab the walls. I'm skipping over the doors and the windows. Notice how I have some duplicates. Don't worry about that. Fix that. Now, broad strokes. This. Here. And now the broadest strokes of them all. Here. Top. I'm giving it a bit of an extension because there is one from here to here, center to center. And the text is going to be the exact same as from down here. Don't be afraid to give yourself a little bit more room. Perfectly fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to delete duplicates, starting from the bottom and working my way out. Meaning, I have 2 here, I delete the bottom one. I have 3 here, I delete the bottom 2. To create the most coherent set of drawing. Now, I'm going to do the right side. I only need to do this one piece. So, grab my linear. Boom. Perfect. Next up, I have this bottom half. Again, everything, and then you do just the walls, and then some broad stroke. But even then, broader than a broad stroke. From here to the center of this window, you may have to draw a temporary dimension for yourself. Continue. Wall. Center of this. Center of this. This. Exterior. To the ends of the garage door. Like so. Now in this case, I'm going to move these dimensions back up because it's going to be a little cluttered if not. Next up, I'm going to go and do my broad strokes now. Here, continue, here, and then here. I'll do one more here. Here. After we do the outside dimensions, we're going to do our hatching for our walls, and then we're going to do our interior dimensions. So, next up, we have this face here. Does it go up to right here to the exterior side? So, continue, wall, 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 exterior, linear, wall, continue, here to here, and then the totality. That guy, this guy, perfect. Looking fine. I think I have one more dimension to do on the outside here. One more dimension to do on the outside here. Put 1. Do that. Here to here. 1 foot 1. Now that is exactly what I'm looking for. Perfect. Let's do the hatch for our walls. I'm going to do a hatch command, but first I'm going to make sure my A wall hatch is set active for my layer. And for now, I'm not even going to bother changing my settings. I just want to make sure that I get it in. I'm going to do each of these pillars. I'm going to hit escape a few times and re-enter the hatch command. Leave that as up. This. Escape a few times. Get back into the command. Again, the reason I'm hitting escape a few times is to essentially save my progress in the perfect. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select one of these. I'm going to set an ANSI 31 hatch. I'm going to modify this to where it's right around where I want it to be. 12 looks pretty good to me. So from here, I'm going to do a match properties command. I'm going to match it every other hatch that I used. Like so. If I'm just to check my work so far on here and do a test, not a print, but a preview, I can see this is looking really well so far. There's a little bit of clutter here, but again, nothing I can really do about that. So good. This is looking great. I have some dimensions to put on the inside still, and I have to put some room names in here still, but that's perfectly fine. We're going to get to that. So next up, also keep in mind for this assignment, I do not want you to dimension the furniture like this. Same thing with this. This was for your assistance. I tried to make it so that it wouldn't plot be this color or anything like that. You're just going to be dimensioning the interior, like the wall positions and everything like that. Same kind of deal, 2'6" and 3/16. I mean, honestly, there's not much in here that you need to do. You have this guy here, you have the 8 foot. In reality, there'd be more dimensions, and we may end up doing that, but right now, whoops. I need this. You may notice that this says 8'2". That's because it's going to the outside wall. And yes, I do need to make sure that changes. I'm going to enact a stretch command across this. 2 inches. Oh, that's good. Silly little mistake. Now, if we're looking back to Milestone 3, we would be able to see that there are a lot more dimensions on the interior of our building, which are just simply not here. If you can try to fit them in, and if you can put the dimensions in this building, you can get extra credit. But otherwise, perfectly fine. You may notice that your handout has more dimensions on it in the future from when this is posted. What that essentially means is this was revised and now it's a requirement. So keep that in mind. All right, we're about an hour and 40 minutes in, so we're doing pretty good, or hour 37:55 now. We're gonna do this. So I have a dimension here to here. I'm just gonna do a continue command. Continue. Okay. I'm just gonna do the room names and we'll call this one. So for the room names, let me just double check I didn't have you guys make here for A. We'll just use the A dimension layer. Perfectly fine. Just some single line text, and we're just going to duplicate what we see on here. 2-car garage. I'm going to use Control U for underline, 2-car garage. And it does not matter if this is overlapping. Simply spoken, I'm just going to copy this 2-car garage text around where it needs to be. And I can just, I'm going to modify it later. Just so I can have of my work. I change this to CLO. Closet. Copy this across. Linen. Rename this. Pantry. And copy it. Pantry and laundry. Good. It's M bath, bedroom, M bath, master bedroom, living room, kitchen, dining, too basic. Whoops. Dining. Move them a little bit after the fact. If I could spell, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it be? Great. This is the mudroom. This is half bath. Now, isn't that just all fine and handy? Anything else I have to do? Yes. Up 16 risers, down 14 risers. Wonderful. We can simply grab this, copy this, up, 16 risers. I'm going to mirror this, delete it, I'm going to move this, copy this, DN14R. Cool. So that is our first floor plan done. Took a couple hours. It took about an hour to do this one in totality, after we did our setup and after we did the foundation. But this is looking quite good. All we have left to do is our second floor. This guy. And we're going to do that whole process again. So, what we're going to do, we're going to start with the doors, then windows, then everything else. But this is a lot smaller, a lot less involved. So that'll save us a bit. Again, I'm just going to grab this, grab all these things that I'll need. Door and window schedules, everything like that. Just rescaling them so they're a little bit more reasonably scaled. A good time to save. Again, with what we did before, I'm going to use my wall layer. And I am going to make my openings in my walls. And up here, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 doors which need to be made. 8 openings. 1, 2, 3 of them are 6. I mean, most of these we've already made before, if not all of them, actually. Pretty good. Our walk-in closet. We'll start on this side. Number 6. This door is number 6. It is going to be 2 feet 6 inches. Offset 4 inches first, because remember, offset 2 foot 6. That's for a jam sizing again. Trim. Easy as pie. Now, number 5 here. Number 5, it is a 3 foot wide door. Offset 4. Offset 36. And extend. Number 10 is our first, or is a new one, actually. It is a bifold door, so a bifold pair, but it's 3 feet wide. Never mind. Just right from the center, offset 1 foot 6. Left, right, round. Enough. This door here, that number 6, that is again inches. Offset 4. Offset 2 foot 6. Trim. We leave this line, our beam line, as is. Number 11 is a different story a little bit. Number 11 is a 1 foot 4 door. It's absolutely tiny. This is going to go in the center. Offset 1 foot 4. 2. 1'4", that is 14 inches. That's gonna be 7 inches on the side. Go on. Next up, we have another door number 5, and then a number 6. So, offset 4 here, and I'll also do this as well, just so up. Offset 36. Offset 2'6". Trim. One last door, but it'll honestly be easier if we simply copied this door up. Easiest. I'm going to copy door number 9. I'm going to rotate it. This. I'll double check. It has a 4-inch jamb on the bottom here, so offset 4. This. Move this in. I'm going to trim this out. I'm also going to have to rotate this, the tag. And that was our best bet. I'm now going to copy and paste some of these other doors. So door number 6, we have 4 of them up here, and we made a couple of them down here. Do I have any that are horizontal? I don't, so I'll just 6, copy it, paste it, rotate it, move it, and I'll even copy it with the tag. I'm going to copy it up again here, and then to here, and I may mirror this guy. About some this. Deleted it, but it's fine. Grab this and place. Put this up. I'm actually going to remove the tags because since I had to rotate it, it'll just be easier to re-put the tags in later. I have 2 doors, which are number 5. I have a 5 here, which I've created. Copy it. Copy it on this side first, and then this. Mirror. Again, and delete it. Didn't. Move this into place. Good, time to save. Now I have a small door for this upper linen closet. I have a bifold here. And this is a 3-foot wide door. What is 36 divided by 4? Jeez. I don't have that immediately on my head. That's 9. Easy enough. Okay. Each of these segments will be 9 inches. I'm just going to draw 9:45. Mirror this. Mirror this all. Perfection. This door is the only wrench in the plans, I suppose. This door is 1 foot 2 inches. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing what I've done before, I'm going to do 1 foot 2. And then for the angle, I'm not going to do 90. I'm just going to set it to be around here, just estimating. I'm going to offset the inch still. And I am going to grab my arc tool. And that's that door. That's all I need. You can see it. Great. Now, what are we doing next? Oh, let me stretch for a moment. There are some other lines that we need to draw, but we can wait on that a little bit because the window locations can help us with that, potentially. So let's just do the windows quickly. Well, no, that's wrong. We need to do our tags. This is tagged as number 11. You may need to maneuver these a little bit inside. This is tagged as 5. Sorry, this is tagged as 6. Copy that and paste it. This is 5. And this is 5. This double bifold, that is 10. Really perfect, like so. Good time to save. Now I got the doors and tags in. That is another step done. May even move this checklist. No. For satisfaction of cross that off. Doors, lines, tags are good. Let's do our windows. The first, we just need to recognize what windows we have and how many. There are 6 windows on either side, or rather 3 windows on the front and the back, and there are 2 on the left. There's only 2 window types up here, F, G. Pretty basic to do this. Let's start with the G windows. These guys are, what is our width for it? These guys are both egress scaled windows, so you can get out. Their door. G, 3 feet wide, very basic. So I'm gonna go to my window layer. I'm just gonna turn on ortho 5.5, and I'm gonna offset it down 36. Now I've made my template for my window, my G window. Very simply said, offset down 2 feet 1.5, and then also 1 foot. 2 foot 1.5, offset 110. Extend, copy this both here, erase. Those are our G windows in place. Very, 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 very basic. Easy. Cool. Next up, we have these 6 Fs. Now these F windows are 2 feet 5 and 5/8 wide. Again, I'm going to set up my guide, offset 2 feet 5/5/8 wide. My template is now made. So all I got to do is locate them. Start with the bottom, offsetting 7 feet 1/3/16. Just like so. Copy this in. Delete that template. The next one, it is 1 foot 11, offset 1 foot 11 7/16 away from the wall here. Click. I'll copy it from inline so it'll particular snaps. And then another one, 11 feet 6 and 13/16. Also notice that these are going to be the same on both sides, so after you've done one, you can mirror it. Good time to save. I'm going to add my tags. I know these are G and F windows. It's going to be a G window. Copy, paste. Paste. F. The heck. Copy, paste, paste. Save. Now that's the windows done. That is just. Now, as part of casework, although there technically isn't much, if any, up here, I'm gonna add this these dashed lines to what the case encompasses. These guys. Just note that these are offset back 3 feet 11. How much? 3 foot 11 and a half. The face of each side. And again, this will be something that's mirrored. This is also going to be an A above. Okay. Trim out the ends. That. I'm going to offset in 4 foot 10, 11, 16ths from the inside here. I am going to do a trim command and a match properties command. And then this gets offset 3 foot 6 inches. 3 foot 6 inches. So this is trimmed out. This goes all the way until this wall here. Now on the other side, the same exact sizing. That's intentional. I'm going to mirror this across. I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to offset 3 foot 6. Trim. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I am simply going to do another offset of off 8 feet 13 16ths. So I'm now going to grab these lines, mirror them across the center of the building. Now that's good. Also, as part of casework, I will consider the this stuff, the hangers, the cabinet, these things. I can't find shelving. There we go. The shelving is part of it. So let's look at what the shelving entails, shall we? Not much, shall we? You just have 2 in here. It's gonna be offset 1 foot. Basic in there. This is not much. I'm again, honestly, just eyeball it. In the future, you will have again an understanding of this stuff. So, doing this. These are walk-in closets, by the way. Good save. All right. Let's do our built stuff. So our plumbing. It's gonna be very basic, very very basic. I'm literally just gonna grab the tub, the toilet, and a sink from the below. I'll grab the sink stuff, tub, toilet. Paste it up here. I'm gonna rotate this so that the top of the tub is against this upper wall. There is an adjustment that we're going to have to make. I want you to make sure you note that. I'm going to rotate this. And I am just simply going to draw a line from here. And then I'm just going to move. That'll be perfectly fine. Notice that the back of this tub doesn't connect. Well, it has to. In this case, you would have a bump out created or added to the wall right here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. That wall extends out a bit more so that the plumbing can actually reach perfectly. Next up, we have our sink. So I'm just going to put in. This is offset 22. That. So, and then mirror this to the side. That. Match properties with some casework. Quick save, good to go. That's my casework and my plumbing done. All I have left is the furnishings and the annotations. This is, if you have noticed, if you haven't noticed, this floor is a lot faster than the previous one. A lot faster. It's just easier. It just truly is. The hardest one's the first floor. So, I have some small tables in here. I think I drew these, but I didn't give sizing for it So you can forego them if you so choose. I will draw them, but I will also double check that there is one. I'm double checking that there isn't one in base plan blocks. That's perfect. So basically, you're just going to add a bed and one of these tables to each. Very, very, very basic. Also, note, in construction, we don't write plumbing wall most of the time against them. You don't have to. It's just redundant most of the time, so good. What we will be doing is we're going to be adding these annotations after we bring them up. Crap. I do need to bring in one. I need to bring in the sofa round back love seat. That this needs to be on the furnishing layer. I need the love seat. I need a rocking chair. I need a couch. The bed. Pretty easy. So I need to make sure I grab the couch, grab the bed, make sure I grab one of the nightstands, and grab a rocker. Copy. This guy just sits right in here. This guy sits end here. Rocking chair in here. Bed and table mashup. I'm just gonna mirror it on top of itself. Move a little bit closer to the window for clearances. And I'm simply going to mirror this whole thing like so. Save command, and I've done the furnish. I'm also going to do a hatch. I'm going to put a hatch in the walls. All the walls. And I'm doing a match properties command with these walls from down here. And that's good. Save command, good to go. I'm going to make sure my annotation layer is set, or a dimension layer is set. Oh man. Next up, I'm going to start at the top and we're going to do our dimensions. Again, we do the everything and then we do the, we work our way down. Linear, exterior to center of window. Continue, left side of this wall, left side of this wall, center of windows. Window, exterior, here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to place this, that. Now it is just going to be the walls. Up. Continue. Here. Here. Broad stroke. Here. And the broadest. Pose. Full length. Deleting redundancies. Like that. Pretty easy. In here on the right side, I do have a whole set of dimensions I need to do though. Here. It goes to this edge. Where else does it go? It goes to the edge of the nosing there. It goes to the support here, 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 I believe, and here. I don't need to make any additional changes. Okay, this doesn't even account for that, but you can do either or. I'm just going to next we get the bottom. Very self-explanatory, exact same process. Previous ones. Walls. This side. New. here. Here and here. Next up, here to just wall. Wall. Guy. Gone. I like to duplicate and double things up as I'm doing it, because it just, I don't know, neuron activation when I get to trim it out and it looks better. Here I'll do this again. Priority, this again, and the full breadth. Great. Let's just trim it out or cut elements out that are not necessary. Do a quick save. And we'll continue. In here we have a dimension that goes across, noting exactly where these things are placed. So let's just do that. Here. Continue. I'm just going to extend it all the way to here. Does it extend all the way to there? It should. Is it internal or external? Perfect. Oh, you just have to double check yourself as you're going. Continue. Boom. Boom. What else in here needs a dimension? Anything else needs? I have 2 leaders I need to add. And I have some text for rooms. So I'm just going to add a leader. The first things first is into below. Very important. Next up, this is show. It says built up beam above. That's perfect. In reality, with this project, there's more than 4 2x10s just supporting this massive section of roof. But that's perfectly fine. I just didn't. I'm not gonna have you put in the steel. That'd be a little. So, what else do you need to do? You need to add your called north arrow. You need to add. So, see if there's anything odd about room names. No, 2 and 3 sleeper. I'm gonna copy this guy up again, and then I'm gonna add. I'm gonna copy again the 2-car garage. This is bedroom 2. This is walk-in closet. WIC. Closet. CLO. Linen. Bath 2. Green. Where? Closet. Sleeper loft. And wouldn't you know it, that's just it right there. So I can go to my A1.1, looks good. A1.2, pretty good. A1.3. Go check the scale. Looks good. I can go from here. I can print this out. Architecture D sheet. Great. Okay. Saving it. I'll save it to AutoCAD. Sure. I'm going to name this my last name. My last name underscore M4 underscore. And then you're going to print this next one. Okay. Your last name M4 underscore 2. And I know it might be shocking to some audiences, but you'll save this last one as M4 underscore. Now, if I go to that location and I verify, I can see this looks pretty dang good. And then you can double check this guy. Yeah, he looks really good. Last and certainly not least, right. From here, your best bet is to clean up your model. For my case, I'm just going to erase all of that. I'm going to draw a line through each of these just because I want to, and then I can delete. So there you have it. That is milestone number 4 for the Atwood residence. It took me around 2 hours and 10 minutes or so to do it myself while also explaining it. You do have 2 weeks, potentially an extension if necessary, to do this. So good luck, and email me if you have any questions.